Hey, grace and peace, everyone. Grace and peace. I had to change the time, so it may not show up on the Facebook. Hey, grace and peace. But gonna give people a chance to jump in here. Grace and peace. Type of one when you come in, so I know you're here. We'll get started. Not like a formal Greek class. It's gonna be a little different. Try various things, but I at least want to introduce the alphabet. Grace and peace. Grace and peace. All right, sorry. Grace and peace. Grace and peace again. This is not going to be a formal class. I'm going to try various things to see if different things work. See what works, see what doesn't work. I'm going to put a link. If you're watching on YouTube, there's going to be a link in the chat, and I'm going to see if it works. It's called a whiteboard, and that way we can all see each other practicing. If you want to practice writing some of the Greek letters, when you show up we can all just practice and we can see each other, and I can kind of see uh, various things. I'm gonna try that, see if that works. There's a link for whiteboard. You'll be able to practice writing if you want to practice. Because if this was like a classroom setting, we would have some paper and stuff, but we're going to try some different things. So I'm excited. Even if you know a little Greek, this should be beneficial to you. We can learn together. And you're going to see as we do more lessons, like I do more lives, I'm going to incorporate Greek in different ways so that you're getting it from different angles. So hopefully that whiteboard link works. If anyone wants to try it, give me a second. So you may be able to see it. There you go. It pops up. If you're watching on YouTube, you should be able to see the whiteboard. And again, I'm using my cursor, so it won't be perfectly how you would write Greek letters and stuff. But we'll see how it goes. See how it goes. Oh man, I couldn't I couldn't charge. If people want to donate, they can, but there's ways to donate. But let's get into this. And the good thing about Greek, uh, the only there's really, this is the time for us to come together. There's really no beefing. The only beef I could foresee is pronunciation, which nobody really cares because Greek is a Koine Greek is not a spoken language. It's not, there's different Greek when you go over there, but you should be able, the vocabulary is the same, but how you pronounce it and things like that, Greek is a dead language. You read it. So don't worry about pronunciation and things like that. But if you want to pronounce, as I say them, you can say them out loud at home. But I'm going to tell you one of the tricks, one of the keys is the more of your five senses that you use to study Greek, the easier it's going to be to remember things. So like let's say you're practicing the alphabet and you're writing it. As you write it, say the letter, say the transliteration, but also say the sound that it makes. So you're doing alpha. You would write it alpha, A, ah, alpha, A, ah, beta, B, B, gamma, G, G. And so the more of your senses that you use when you're learning Greek is going to be easier in the long run. Trust me. So the Greek that we're studying, biblical, is called Koine Greek. Koine Greek. Koine Greek simply means common. This is common Greek. Not the singer Common. But this is common, everyday Greek. This is the New World language that's come about. Hellenistic Greek, with Alexander the Great, he spreads the Greek language and things like that. So we're going to get into this. So the first step is, and again, anyone can use this whiteboard link. As I'm writing, you can write. That doesn't bother me at all. I think it helps. If someone wants to give it a try, let me know if that link works. But with Koine Greek, the syllables are pretty. Yes, the syllables is the same. Now, here's another key. A Greek word has as many syllables as it does vowels, or a diphthong, which we'll look at. So however many vowels that you see in a Greek word, that's how many syllables it breaks into. And Greek has the vowels just like English. The Greek has 7 vowels. You got 7 vowels. So you're going to have you got your alpha, eta, epsilon, iota, omicron, upsilon, omega. So your A, E, short E, long E, I, O, long O, short O, omicron, omega, and upsilon, your U. So 2 of these are always short. So not a highlighter. Where is my eraser? So your short vowels are always going to be epsilon, omicron. Epsilon, omicron are always going to be short. 2 are always going to be long, just on how you stress them. Your long is always going to be eta and omega. Again, forgive my writing because I'm using a mouse. So your short vowels are epsilon, epsilon, omicron. Your long vowels are going to be eta, omega. Notice how eta, omega. They're long when you say them. And then 3 can be either long or short. So we'll put either. Again, this is just for pronunciation. Nobody's going to grade you. Long or short is going to be alpha, iota, or iota, and upsilon. So again, these are your Greek vowels. You got 2 that's always short, 2 that's always long, and then 3 that can be either short or long. 3 that can be either short or long. All right, so let's move a little bit. Again, if you need anything needs to be explained a little better, just let me know in the chat and something. I think I may start doing some of this as a Zoom. Maybe a Zoom class may be better too. If anyone has better ideas, please let me know. I'm always open. I'm just trying this. Yes, the 2 dots. The 2 dots that you will see on what Brother Most Excellent is talking about here. The two dots that you see, that is called a diuresis. The diuresis lets you know to pronounce them differently. To pronounce them one at a time. So like Isaiah. So in the Greek of Isaiah, in in John 1:23, you'll notice that some Greek words will have 2 dots above the letters. And so this tells you to pronounce the vowels separately. So you would see, let me see if I can find it. Sigma, Alpha, Iota, Alpha, Sigma. And if you look in your Greek text, you'll see that there's usually 2 dots right above that with an accent mark as well. But accent marks, I'm not really, when it becomes important, I'll let you know. But for right now, I'm not really focusing on the accent marks. Because Greek was a musical language, so the accent marks would tell you whether to go up in a pitch or down in a pitch. Yep, I'll put that word in the chat. Diuresis. So diuresis. This is where 2 vowels that are usually a diphthong, which we'll talk about, are pronounced separately. So a diuresis is when 2 vowels that are usually a diphthong are pronounced separately. We're going to go over what a diphthong is. But this here, the alpha iota, is a diphthong. And usually you would pronounce it as one sound. So like it's like the AI in IO is Aya, I. Or age, aeon. Ion. So it's so the 2 dots, usually you'll see, I'm trying to make it bigger. There's usually 2 dots above a diphthong that lets you know, hey, pronounce these separately, separate syllables. So we'll get back to that. All right, so let's get into, let's get into the alphabet. So the first step in, let me stop sharing that screen. go back to my screen. Move these around some. And we'll get to the 10 Greek words that everyone needs to know. So we'll get to those. We'll come to those. All right. So let's look at the Greek alphabet. Look at the Greek alphabet. All right. So, and then, as I say them, you can say them. I know there'll be a delay and everything. So, the first one, and of course, it's a vowel, alpha. Alpha, as in father. So, alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta. So, and then I'm going to show you transliterations on another slide in a second. So, here's the first grouping here. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta. Only one vowel, and that's your alpha. Now, if you're looking at the screen, I wish I could mark on it. If I had a pointer. Where's the pointer? Okay. So you should see, eventually you'll see I have a laser pointer coming up. But if you're looking at the screen in the slides, the first column is lowercase because you really want to encounter capitals. Originally, Greek was written in all capitals, all pushed together. Usually with the Greek words, you're going to see the lowercase, but it does help to like the titles of the Greek New Testament, they're going to be in the capitals. So it does help you to learn the capitals, but I'm really just focused, like you just focusing on learning the lowercase. So the lowercase is what usually you're going to see in a Greek text, in a Greek word. And so that's the first column that you're looking at. Then the capital is in the second column, and then the letter. So you got alpha. And remember, alpha can be short or long. So you have a as in father, or bat at alpha. Beta, B. Gamma is our G. Delta is your D. Then you have epsilon, zeta, eta, theta. Epsilon, zeta, eta, theta. Now, with your vowels are produced with you exhaling air. The Greek consonants are always pronounced when you use your lips. So if you notice with alpha, your lips really don't touch. Alpha, and you're breathing out that air. But when you use the consonants, beta, if you say beta, feel your lips coming together to make that sound. And so usually, I'm not going to get into that, but usually you have the bilabials. These are the where the air comes out of your lips. So it's coming at your lips. So when you say moo and pie, it's coming from your lips. That's where it's starting at. So those are your bilabials. Then you have some that are when they're coming from just behind your teeth. These are called the dentals. as in data. Delta, pow. So your tongue is going to hit your teeth as you say it. So those are the dentals. And then you have the velars, which are the gammas or the kappas. But then, that's really not really important. But some Greek classes and stuff will teach you some of that stuff. So gamma, it's a hard G. There's a G, like in gift as well. Gift. Epsilon, zeta, eta, theta. And then you have iota, iota, they're different pronunciations. Some is like a long sound like machine, or short as in pit, iota, iota, or iota. So like ski, the iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu. Now notice nu is written like a V, but it is actually the N. And that's important. V, it looks like our English V, but it is nu. Let me see if I can get to here. New. C. Like the X, the X sound in wax or fox. C. Omicron. P. Pi. Some say P, some say pi. Pi. Rho. Now, here's another one. Rho is written like a P, our English P, but it's actually an R. So rho, you write it like a P, but it is an actual R. Sigma. Hang on, let me do something. Let me share the other screen really quick. Might be easier this way. Okay. So if you can see my screen again. So if you notice with the sigma, there are two. And then one that looks like our regular S. If it was written on like a line here. Now notice sigma has two forms. The one that looks like our normal S, that is called a final sigma. You will always and only find this at the end of a Greek word. That's why it's called final. The normal one, that looks like a O with a long cap on it, that's the normal sigma that you will see in the other positions of a word. So like let's do the word apostle, apostolos, alpha, pi, omicron, sigma, tau, omicron, lambda, omicron, final sigma. Now, with the Greek word for apostle, notice there's a sigma in normal form is here, but at the end of the word, you have the final sigma. The final sigma is only used at the end of a word. So apostolos, apostolos. Notice the syllables, because you have one vowel, stalos, apostolos, apostolos. So you got alpha, P, omicron, sigma, tau, omicron, lambda, omicron, sigma. Now, if you transliterate it, it's A, P, O. Our English apostle, apostle. English is apostle, but if you translate it to the Greek, if you're just using it, it's going to be A, P, O, S, T, O, L, O, S. Transliterated out. So apostolos. There's two sigmas. The final sigma is on the end. The final sigma is on the end. So you got tau. Let me erase that a little bit. All right. We'll finish it up here. The alphabet here. So we got tau, upsilon, and you can put your little. There's some fancy little things on there. Upsilon, phi, as in physics. Phi, I'm not worried about that. So you got your phi. In your English, this is a PH sound. Chi, chi, as in chemist. So there's your CH. Translates into CH. Tau, upsilon, phi, chi. Psi. So this is a PS. PS, and then it would be your end sound of ps, like taps. That sound there, ps, taps. And then omega. Omega, remember omega's long, as in gold. Gold. So it's a long sound. Long sound. So we go back. You go back, you have your. So let's do our Greek vowels. What are our Greek vowels? Alpha, epsilon, iota, omicron, upsilon, omega. And I'm eta. Missing one. Eta. Knew there was another one. Eta. So remember, Greek vowels, just like ours, there's seven vowels. Number of completion. So those are your vowels: A, E, I, O, U, as we would say them. But alpha, epsilon, iota, omicron, upsilon, omega, eta. Those are your Greek vowels. Your Greek vowels. Greek vowels. Those are your Greek vowels. Let me make sure there's nothing else I want to bring out with the alphabet. All right, so all the sounds of the Greek alphabet are easy to make, and Greek almost always follows the phonetic values of its letters. It always follows its phonetic values. Now, let me do some erasing. If you guys can see the whiteboard, type of one. If you guys can see that on the screen. I don't want to keep going and you guys can't see it. So there's that. Make sure. Okay. Good. All right. So now let me cover diphthongs. Diphthongs diphthongs are I had a Greek professor who once said diphthongs is something a man should never wear. But that that's something different. But diphthongs just it comes into there's two vowels, but they make one sound. So di being two, and then the sounds. So Greek has 7 diphthongs. Just like there's 7 vowels, there's 7 diphthongs. So diphthongs again are vowels. Two vowels, but you pronounce them as one sound. One sound. So what we have is the Greek sounds that the letters represent. These are what's called phonemes, from which we get sound. Phone, the Greek word phone can mean sound or voice. So phonemes are the smallest elements, basically the smallest elements of the language. So like, let's say we're using the English word pig and the English word big. The phonemes, these words are distinguished because this is a phoneme, the P, and the B is a phoneme. Now, phoneme just means a sound. So they are distinguished. The difference between big and pig is the P and the B, that sound, that phoneme. So sometimes they can affect meaning, which we'll look at when we get there. But when you combine them is when you get what's called a morpheme. And these are gonna be important. They're gonna help us later as we get into other lessons. So a morpheme. What is a morpheme? Morphemes are the minimal units of speech that convey a specific meaning. So morphemes these portray a meaning. Morphemes portray a meaning. Morphe, the Greek word morphe, means form. Form. So mu, omicron, rho, phi, eta. Morphe. How would you transliterate that? Morphe. 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 So when you put them together, so some examples of English would be an S. So adding an S to dog changes the meaning. So like pig, when you add an S or a morpheme, pigs, that changes. Another one. So like if you add an S, the English S, or if you add an ED, you change the meaning to past tense. So you got houses, cats, dogs, or you can do loved. So our English loved, ED is a past tense morpheme. It changes the meaning. So this is going to be important when we break down Greek verbs. Love, this ED that we have in English, is a morpheme because it changes the meaning of love to a specific meaning. So that's just to help you down the line when we introduce stuff. So don't worry about it kind of right now. Just have it in the back of your mind, but it's going to help. You'll see it help later when we study some different stuff. All right. Let me get back to diphthongs. So diphthongs, two. So think of your two. These are two vowels, but you pronounce them as one sound. And these are very, very, very important when we're reading a Greek word. Let me. What's going on here? Says honestly, shalom. I'm on my lunch break. Seven diphthong, thong. Like, ooh. Yeah, there you go. Thong. That's right. Diphthongs is something a man should never wear. You won't forget a diphthong though. See, that's the thing. Like Brother Jermaine is doing there. When you use all these different things to help, like use funny things to help you remember things. All the different senses you can get when you're studying Greek and learning Greek is very, very helpful. So I'm thinking about doing like maybe a Zoom class to get more, we can get more interactive with each other and stuff like that. Because I got to come back and watch. Morphe. That's why I don't want to go to the hospital and get all that morphine. Morphe, mighty Morpheme Power Rangers. See, y'all just running amok. Who being in very morphe theos. Yes, who being in the very form of God. So yeah, yes. Yeah, man. Make Greek fun. Make Greek fun. So let's look at the diphthongs. What are the diphthongs? What are your diphthongs? Alpha, iota. you pronounce that as I. It's an I sound, like our English IO. So when you see alpha, iota together in a word, you pronounce it IO. So what's a Greek word for that? From which we get our word age, aeon, ion. It's the English age. So the first diphthong, and you don't have to. There's no specific order to them, but just make sure you get them down in your mind. So this is two letters. Notice two vowels, alpha, iota. They make one sound. I, io, ion, age, age. All right, the next one, epsilon, iota. Epsilon, iota combined will pronounce like an A sound. So it's kind of like our English eight, eight, eight. So notice it even has it in the word, in our English word eight, that EI or epsilon iota is an A sound, an A sound. What Greek word can we see with this? Irene. Irene is peace. Irene is peace. When we or you know if you know a woman named Irene, Irene means peace. So if you see the Greek word peace in your Bible, Irene, you notice when you look at it that there is a diphthong at the beginning. Epsilon, iota. You see that, your mind goes, that's one sound. A. Eight. Irene. Irene. Peace. Irene. Peace. All right. Your next one. And then the easy thing to remember with the diphthongs, all diphthongs either end in iota or an upsilon. That's easy to remember. You're either going to end with an iota or an upsilon. So omicron, upsilon together. Oh, hold on. Let me do it. Let me do something first. Let me do this one. Let's do an omicron iota together. Omicron iota is an oi sound. Like oi, like our English oil, oi, oil. A Greek word that you're going to see that in. You see it. Paul uses it a lot. Oikos. 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 Now, does anyone know what oikos means? I'll give you a second here in the chat. I'm going to pause for a break here. Oikos. You've seen it a lot. You've probably seen it in your grocery store. Yogurt, Greek yogurt is oikos. Does anyone know if you type it in the chat, what does oikos mean? What does oikos mean? And how do we spell oikos? Omicron, iota, kappa, Omicron, Sigma. OIKOS. So oikos means house. Oikos means house. And we'll get some Greek vocabulary words, so don't worry about that. We'll start learning. You'll start learning these words. Uh, Oikos. Trying to pull it up on the screen a little bit better. So oikos. Oikos. All right, and this is the last one with an iota ending. Upsilon iota. Upsilon iota. Upsilon iota. This is going to be a we sound. We. It sounds like our English we. Think of the word, our English word sweet. Like you get a hotel suite. That UI is the same in English and in Greek. Wheat, sweet. And a good Greek word that you'll see this, huios. Huios. Huios is the Greek word for son, the Son of God, the huios theos, the Son of God. So 4 of your diphthongs are going to end in iota. 3 are going to end in upsilon because there's 7 diphthongs. Diphthongs, 2 vowels, 1 sound. 2 vowels, 1 sound. He said, I looked it up so I didn't want to cheat. No problem. All right. So that's your those are your 4 of the diphthongs. Now you have trying to see if I can move it over a little bit. Get an eraser. Yeah, this will be a Greek. This will be a live where you actually have to watch the Greek. I mean, the Greek. You have to watch the Greek, but you got to watch the live to be able to see the screen. But I think I may do this as well as a like a Zoom class or a Google Meet. And that way everyone can see the screen, everyone can interact and talk and stuff like that. Do you guys think that'll work better too? If I do like a Google Meet link or a Google, I'm still working on creating a Patreon. I know I need to get a Patreon type thing going. But I do want to have this available for anyone, any of this. But like a Zoom or a Google Meet link, that way people can actually interact a little more. All right, so those are, then we got 3 more diphthongs. 3 more diphthongs. So you got your alpha, upsilon. Alpha, upsilon is going to be a owl sound. Owl. Like Faust. So it's going to, this is a sound, how you sound it. And this is going to be the Greek word. Autos. Autos is the Greek word for self. And we're going to look at autos, autou, aute, autone, aute, autos. So we'll look at the different declensions. So don't worry about that. But notice, remember I said that if Greek breaks it, the syllabification of Greek is every vowel or diphthong is its own syllable. So notice with autos, yes, there's this alpha upsilon is one sound, so one syllable, and then taus is another one. Autos, autos, autos. Self, like automobile. Self, autocratic, things like that, automatic. So, owl, that's another diphthong. Now, again, remember, diphthongs are always vowels. You'll never see a consonant. They're never consonants. The next one is U. So it's pronounced just like a U, like in feud. Family Feud, Feud. And a good Greek word for this, and repetition is going to be key when you're studying Greek as well. Repetition, using all the syllables. So this Greek word, this is a poor gamma here. Eulogeitos. Eulogeitos. Blessed. Blessed. Our English word eulogy as well, to speak well of someone. But notice this epsilon, upsilon is one sound, one syllable. La is one syllable. Gay is one syllable. Tas. Eulogeitos. Eulogeitos. Epsilon, upsilon, lambda, omicron, gamma, eta, tau, omicron, sigma. Notice the final sigma as well. Eulogeitos. Eulogeitos. You usually is good and to speak well of. So this is a blessed. Blessed. This person is blessed. Give me a second. Eulogatos. Yeah, altos. Altos is a very popular Greek word. So, and then the last diphthong. The last diphthong, omicron, upsilon. Ooh, like in soup. The ooh in soup. The ooh in soup. And the Greek word that we would use, we would see this in. For an example, Uranus. Uranus means heaven. This is the Greek word for heaven. Uranus comes from this. Um, so notice diphthong, 2 letters, 1 sound, 1 syllable. U, re, nas. Uranus, heaven. Omicron, upsilon, rho, alpha, nu, omicron, sigma. Uuranos. All those different type of things you use when you're saying these words will help you get it in your head. Uranus, Uranus, Uranus. So remember, one vowel or a diphthong equals a syllable. When you pronunciate it, it'll start to come naturally as you work with the Greek language, as you work with these things. It's going to become popular and easy for you to remember. All right, so those are Greek diphthongs. Now, let me go back to the Google slide. So we went over the alphabet. We'll go through the alphabet one more time. But again, there's Greek. You can look up the Greek alphabet song if music helps you. There is a way to memorize it because you know how we sing it to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. You can sing the Greek alphabet to Shortening Bread, that Shortening Bread song. Was it Mama Like Shortening Bread, something like that? That one. But if you can sing it, it'll help you memorize it as well. So like alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu, chi, omicron, pi, rho, sigma, tau, upsilon, phi, chi, psi, omega, like that. Trying to think of some different keywords, something that'll help you. I always remember pi and sigma together. I mean pi and rho, because pyro, those come to get like fire, pyro. So go through the Greek alphabet again. alpha, beta, gamma, delta. You need to be able to know these 24 letters as well as you do the English alphabet. You should be able to know. It'll help you know it in order as you're looking up words in a lexicon, but you don't have to know them in order. Just be able to see it and know that's a B, that's beta. So alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu, mu, nu, c, omicron, p, pi, rho, sigma, tau, upsilon, phi, chi, psi, omega. I'm not into the collegiate pronunciation, so don't even worry about that. Again, like I said, Greek is a language. Koine Greek. Koine Greek is a dead language. It is meant to be read. No one is going to grade you on how well you're pronouncing it. Truly, So don't worry about that. Just be able to recognize the letters, recognize and usually they transliterate into what you would think for English. Like a beta is going to translate into a B if you're writing it out. But like if you get to these toward the end, the letters toward the end, the 1, 2, 3, the 3 toward the end, phi, chi, psi, they're going to translate into 2 letters. So PH, CH, PS. But everything else pretty much translates or transliterates into what you would think as a Greek letter. Like A, you would write it as alpha. You write it as an alpha, the Greek letter. It's an A in English. Beta, you write it as a beta. B, the same thing. Gamma, G, delta, D, epsilon, the zeta. The zeta, I forgot about the zeta. Hang on. I knew it was something. I'm sorry, guys. We put the diphthongs over here. With the zeta, I don't have a Greek keyboard downloaded on this computer to type it out. But with the zeta, it's just it's a curly Q. So it's like boom, boom, boom. Imagine if this is on a line here. You come in, boom, and then it's like back at the end. So it looks like an S, but with its mouth open pretty big. Like, like a regular, like a final sigma is like this. A zeta is more of a big, and then a curl. Let me see if I can find something really quick. Zeta, zeta, zeta. Here we go. Let me show you on the screen. There we go. So you probably can see that a little bit better. It's terrible to write. Oh, you probably can't see my screen. That's why. Hang on. Here we go. So, if you notice, this is Zoe. This is the Greek word for life. This is the Greek word. Zoe is the Greek word for life. Zoology. There's also another word for life, bios. Also means life, and there's a difference between them, but notice how the zeta is a boom, boom, boom. So this is your zeta. Zeta, Omicron, Iota. Zoe. Zoe. Zoe means life. So zeta is like boom, boom. And then you come back and boom. But you can get them pretty fast, but you don't want to confuse it with the key, which is more of a wiggly thing. But Zoe is life. Zoe is life. There is your zeta. Zeta. I just wanted to point that out for a second. All right, let me go back to sharing the screen. All right, so the next slide that you see on the screen is just another way of looking at the Greek capitals, lowercase, and how it's transliterated. If you're writing it into English, from Greek to English. So you have your capitals, then your lowercase, then the transliteration. So alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu, chi, omicron, pi, rho, sigma, tau, upsilon, phi, chi, psi, omega. So notice they pretty much A, B, G, D, E, Z, E, TH. Theta gives you 2, TH. I, K, L, M, N, X, O, P, R, S, T, U, P, H, C, H, P, S, long O. So what I would do if you're memorizing this, write it out. It helps to write the Greek alphabet out. Write it, practice writing them out, practice saying them, practice getting their phonetic value and getting what it transliterates into. So you would be, if I'm writing alpha, A, beta, B, B, gamma, G, G, delta, D, D, epsilon, E, zeta, Z, Z. So the more senses and things that you use when you're getting it together, is definitely going to help you. Definitely going to help you. We're not going to go over breathing marks. Only when they're necessary, we'll really look into them. And accents. Breathing marks are important. Yeah, let me cover breathing marks really quick. Breathing marks are important. Put that over there. All right. So, So Greek has rough breathing, and smooth breathing marks. All right, so Greek has two breathing marks: rough and smooth. Rough and smooth. So every Greek word that begins with a vowel is going to have a breathing mark on it. Rough breathing mark, I'm going to make this big. Rough breathing mark looks like this. A big apostrophe. And it's going to give the word an H sound. I'm going to show you this in a second. Smooth breathing goes the opposite direction, and there's no sound. No sound. No sound that you pronounce phonetically. So let me give you an example. Rough breathing mark would be the Greek word. Here's a good one. In or hen. Now, when you see this, this is the Greek word for one, hen. It starts with the vowel, and there is a breathing mark there. So this is going to give it an H sound. So you would pronounce it like a hen. Hen. Hen means one. Now this is important because there's another Greek word. We'll go down to like a smooth breathing. Smooth breathing this way. This is the Greek word in. This is a preposition, and it just means in, with, or by. So smooth breathing, no sound. Everything's smooth. Rough breathing, it's a huh. A huh sound. Gives it an H sound. So you'll find these only over vowels. Only over vowels that start a word. Only over vowels that start a word or a diphthong. So rough breathing has an H sound to it, and it has like a big apostrophe. Smooth breathing, no sound. So notice how that affects the meaning of this word. This you'll see in John 1:1, in the beginning. When Jesus says, me and my Father are one, hen, we're one, or heis is one. Oh man, hang on. I didn't show the screen again. Go back to whiteboard. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I keep forgetting to switch the screen. So a rough breathing mark looks like an apostrophe. It's found only over vowels. It starts the word. You have two, smooth, rough. Rough breathing, you give the word an H sound at the beginning. Smooth breathing, you don't pronounce it. So hen is one versus in, which is a preposition in. And then there's another, I'm going to show you. Let's give us an example here. Oops. Okay. Let's look at another Greek word. So let's do upsilon. Final sigma. Boop. Boop. All right. So this is the Greek. This is the Greek word which we get hypocrite. Hypocritus. 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 This, there's a vowel and there's a mark above it, a rough breathing. So this is rough. This is a rough breathing mark. So you're going to give it an H sound. Because you would look at it and be like, Rev C, there's no H. The H comes from the rough breathing. So it's hypocrites. 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 Translated, we get our Greek hypocrite. Hypocrite. I'm sorry, I mispronounced. I forgot this is a Omicron, not an Omega. So it's hypocrites. Hypocrites. This is a Omicron, so it's an sound. Hypocrites. Hypocrites. Hypocrite. Hypocrite. All right. So those are rough breathing. Those are rough breathing sounds. All right. Now let me go back to sharing the slides. All right. So there's that. Diphthongs. All right, we're going to practice with John 3:16. We're going to practice John 3:16. I mean John 1. We're going to look at 1 through 3. And then we'll look at some Greek words and then we'll be done. Now, one second. Make sure everything is up. Okay. So if you're watching this and you got paper, you're taking notes, you can actually transliterate this because you know the alphabet and you can pronounce it. So if we were in class and face to face, we would read this together. We would read this together and then we would transliterate it. Would anyone be willing, if I put the link out for a second, would anyone be willing to come on and pronounce and do something with this? We'll go through it together. Type of 1 if anyone wants to pop on. I'll drop a link really quick. If anyone wants to try to come on and pronounce it, we'll pronounce it and we'll transliterate it a little bit together. I know you guys are a little bit behind, so I'll give it a second. If you type a 1, I'll drop the link. If not, I'll just go ahead and we'll just go through it. Again, thank you guys for dropping in. Hit the like button, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. Okay, somebody's driving. Okay, maybe next time we'll go through it. We'll do that. But so let's do this together. So John 1 through 3. John 1 through 3. You can at home you can transliterate it out. So you would do ENARCHE. Things like that. So if you were at home writing it out, you could do it like that. Hey, grace and peace, Sister Lewis. So let's look at. We're not going to do theology out of this verse. We're just going to look at pronunciation and some transliteration things. So notice this is we have at first we see a smooth breathing mark. So there's no H sound. So in RK, in ha. Notice there's a rough breathing over the omicron. So ha, lagos, omicron, lagos. So in RK, ain, ha, lagos. In RK, ain, ha, lagos. Epsilon, nu, omicron, rho, chi, eta, nu, omicron, lagos, lambda, omicron, gamma, omicron, sigma, ENARCHE, HOLOGOS, NRK, ain, ha, lagos. In the beginning was the word, ha being your definite article, masculine singular, nominative, logos, that is in the nominative form. This is the subject of the sentence here. It's a nominative case, meaning it's the subject. I know it's in the nominative case because omicron sigma is the masculine singular ending. Plus, this is masculine singular and it matches. The article matches. We'll learn all of that. Don't worry about that. We'll learn that. So, in, RK, ain, ha, lagos. Notice there's a vowel. It starts with the vowel. There's a smooth breathing mark. Every vowel that starts a sentence gets a breathing mark. So, ain, RK, ain, ha, lagos. In the beginning was, imperfect tense of to be, me, the word. Kai, remember I from isle, there's a diphthong. Kai, ha, lagos. Ain, pros, ton, theon. And the word was with the God. What's the subject of this sentence, of this clause? Logos, because it's masculine, singular, nominative. It's the subject. Ton theon is an accusative. This is the direct object. Ton theon. We'll learn these later. Don't worry about that. I'm just kind of going over some quick stuff. So kai, ha, logos, ain, pros, ton, theon. Now, like at home, if you're writing this out, you would just transliterate it. KAIHOLOGOSENPROSTONTHEON. That's transliterated into English. We can practice kappa, alpha, iota, omicron, lambda, omicron, gamma, omicron, sigma, eta, nu, pi, pi, rho, omicron, sigma, tau, omicron, nu, theta, epsilon, omicron, nu. So again, we're just practicing using all of our senses together. Like if you're at home, you would translate this out. You would write the Greek words, the Greek letters, and then you can transliterate it into English if you want. So what we got so far? In the beginning. In the beginning. And notice you're already reading and translating Greek within an hour and a half. You're already doing it. You're translating. You some of these words you may not know. We're going to learn them. So in the beginning was the word. Logos is word. The word. Kai ha logos ein pros ton theon. And the word was with the God. Kai theos ein ha logos. And the word was God. And the word was God. Verse 2. Notice there's our diphthong. So there's a rough breathing. Hutas. Hutas. That one. That one. Ain in arche pros ton theon. That one was in the beginning with God. That one, that what? That word, that logos, we know ultimately is Christ. So, hutas, there's a rough breathing, so it's a h sound. Hu, ooh, like in soup. Hutas. Hutas, ain, in, arche. That one was, ain, was, in the beginning, pros, ton, theon. In the beginning with God, the God. So that's pretty simple. You guys are translating. You're reading the Greek and you know what it means. You know what the word means. So, hutas, that one, was, ain, in, beginning, in the beginning. Pros, with, ton theon, was pros ton theon, face to face with God. Verse 3, panta, neuter, all things, dia, ow, there's our diphthong, two, ow, two, all things, through him, eganeta, that one, or no, panta, all things through him came into being or were created. They were created. All things were created. This one had the logos had no creation. He always existed, and everything had a beginning because of him. So let's look at this. Panta. We'll learn this for this is each. This is the Greek word for all. Each, all. So you got pas, panta, pan, and we'll learn that pas, panta, pan is all. So panta, this is in your neuter, plural. All things through him, eganeta, had a beginning or came into existence or has come about. Kai and chorus, autu, eganeta, ude, hin, ha, geganin. So, all things through him came into being. And chorus is to lack, to be without. So without autu, without him, without the word, nothing, not any one thing. Notice there's a rough breathing, so there's a hin, so this is one. And without him, nothing, no one thing came into being. So you just went through, you just translated John 1 through 3. Give yourselves a hand. You can read it. Even if you can't translate it, you can read it. You can put those letters together. In, arche, hain, or ain, ha, lagos, kai, ha, lagos, ain, proston, theon, kai, theos, ain, ha, lagos. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Hutas ain, ain, in, arche, pros, ton, theon. Panta, D. Autu, eganata, kai, chorus, autu, eganata, ude, hin, ha, geganin. So you can translate those. You're working on getting the letters down. So before we end and everything, your homework, just kind of work on the vocabulary, work on the alphabet. Get those 24 letters down. Sing it. And they kind of go in the alphabetical order that we know. So you can sing it, write it out, get the pronunciations and the phonetical sounds and stuff with them. All right. And then the last thing I want to show you for today, possibly, let's look at, where's my slides? I told you there was going to be, these are 10 Greek words that every Christian needs to know. So you get these down, you've already got a lot of the New Testament, a lot of theology and stuff like that. You're going to see these words a lot, especially in the YouTube community that most of us run with. You'll see these words a lot. So you can already know at least 10 Greek words. The first one, of course, theos. Theos is God. Theology, study of God. You need to know this. Whenever you hear or see theos, God. Logos, word. Logos, word. Kurios. Kurios is Lord, Master, Sir. Kurios, you need to know that. You'll see this used for Jesus. Kurios. And again, these are just quick definitions. Just boom, 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 boom. Quick definitions. Basic definitions that you can just get in your mind. So you hear theos, you know that's God. Logos, word. Kurios, Lord. Pistis. Pistis is faith. Pistos is faithful. If we change that iota to an omicron, you get pistos, faithful. Pistis. Pistis is faith or belief. This is the noun form. So pistis, faith. Pistis, faith. Epistemology. Soteria, soter, ada. Sotera is salvation. If you take off the iota and the alpha, you get soter, which is the Savior. So salvation, soteria is salvation. These are some words that all Christians need to know, at least these Greek words. And we'll look at how they may pop up in the Greek in the next lesson and stuff like that. Nomos. Plumber. That's plumber's word. Y'all should know this word. The nomos is law. Nomos, law. Hamartia, sin. You should know this because you guys do this every single day. Every day you do hamartia. You do sin. Sin. So when you're reading the Greek word in the New Testament through Romans, you're going to see hamartia. It's a H because there's a rough breathing. I don't know if you can see it. I can't make it as big. But there's an H. There's a rough breathing over the A, so it's a ha. Hamartia. Hamartia is sin. Harmatalos is what you are, a sinner. Harmatalos is a sinner. Hamartia is the noun. Harmatalos is what you are, a sinner. Agape, love. You Christians, we need to learn that word, love. Charis is grace, from charismatic. Some of y'all charismatics in the chat. Type of 1. Hamartiology, yes, the study of sin. Some of you charis, you Pentecostal and charismatic people, go on and put them tongues in the chat. Sister Lewis, I see you in there. Put them tongues in the chat, sister. So charis, grace. Charis is grace. Paul always says charis kai eirene, grace and peace. So when you guys greet, if you watch Berean, shout out to Berean, you on Berean's channel and things, you'll hear grace and peace. You can now speak Greek to each other now. We can say charis kai eirene, grace and peace. And then ego eimi. Ego eimi. That is important all throughout John's gospel. Jesus uses these statements. I am. Ego eimi is a strong sense of deity. When we look at that, a strong sense of deity. Strong sense of deity. So I think those are 10, and those are good. We'll stop there for today. But those are 10 good Greek words that will start you guys off right. You said Ashando is always appreciated. Hey, God. Ashando. So I want to keep this one kind of short. So we're just learning the alphabet. I'll put there's a good Greek. I recommend this Greek book that we can use together. I've used it when I've taught Greek before. I highly recommend this Greek grammar. I don't really like mounts and things like that because a lot of them. I'm gonna post this here. 1 second. Grab this book, Learn to Read New Testament Greek by David Allen Black. I highly recommend that book. That's the one that I'm going to be using to kind of develop the lessons and to teach. There are other ones out there that are just kind of massive, and it's just like it'll make you feel defeated picking up those books. Here I'm also put the Amazon link in the chat if you want to grab it. It comes with exercises and things like that. I like mounts, but some of his approaches is different. I think the way that I use David Allen Black's grammar is a lot easier because with mounts, it's a lot of memorization. I want to keep memorization down to a minimum. And so there are some things, yes, there's some things you have to memorize with Greek, but mounts just does a lot. And I found that it's a good reference tool, but he's not used a lot in some seminaries are starting to come away from mounts. They're using what's it called? Beginning Greek with Robert Plummer and I can't think of the other guy's name. But there are a couple of good ones. But I highly recommend David Allen Black's Greek book. I see your question, Sister Lewis. I'm gonna come to it. Mounts, basic of biblical Greek is good. I mean, it's a good tool, but you have to have someone go through it with you. It's one of those type of books because it's a lot of stuff. And Greek is already, complicated for people. But yeah, we can talk more about that later. Some good Greek grammars. They all have their flaws and pluses and stuff. But I just prefer simple. And so David Allen Black is like 28 lessons. Boom, boom, boom. And the way he approaches it, your mind works better that way. So we'll look at it that way. And I'll reference other Greek books and stuff. So the hard breathing mark. Yes. Hard breathing mark. Oh, yeah, you're in that Hebrew. Yeah. What book are you guys using? Are you guys using for Hebrew? Are you using Van Pelt? Is it Van Pelt? I know Van Pelt has a Greek grammar. It's been a while since I took Hebrew. Hold on. I know Sal has a Greek book. Where's my Greek? My Hebrew? Mounts. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me find my something here. I'm coming back. Hang on. One second. All right, I'm back. So yeah, keep it simple. Rough breathing mark is it looks like our apostrophe, and it's always going to be over a vowel at the beginning of a word, and it's a h sound, an h sound. Now, I'm going to show you guys something really quick, and then we'll end it. I'll just show you some of the Greek books that I have. Okay, so here we go. All right, so here are some. This is New Testament Greek of a beginning grammar by Hewitt. You have one by Hewitt. You don't have to get this one. I'll show you the ones I recommend. This is one that I have. This is a classic. Yes, got this one back in 2010. This is New Testament Greek for Beginners, Machen. This is where a lot of people cut their teeth. Very, very good book. Machen is very old. Here's another one. Learn Greek Grammar. This is by Richard Young, an linguistic and exegetical approach. This is one. Wenham, J.W. Wenham, The Elements of New Testament Greek. I'm trying to pull it back some. Elements of New Testament Greek. This is a pretty good one. A Greek Grammar for New Testament Greek. A Grammar for New Testament Greek by James Efford. James Efford. Get this one. There. Here's the Hebrew that I used, Sister Lewis. I don't know if you guys can see I got my camera on. Okay. So this is A Modern Grammar for Biblical Hebrew by Dwayne Garrett. And you can actually, if you do type in like Hebrew, Biblical Hebrew, you can actually find free lessons where they're going through this book on YouTube. So that's Hebrew. Here is one that I recommend. Beginning Greek with New Testament by, this is by Robert Plummer and Benjamin Merkel. I took Greek classes from Robert Plummer. He's in seminary in Louisville. They're both at Louisville Seminary. This is a very good beginning Greek grammar. This is one that I would recommend. Highly recommend this one. And then this is the one that we use, that I'm going to be using. Learn to read New Testament Greek, David Allen Black. As you can see, I taught this at my church in 2016 and 2017. I used this book. Yeah, that's your brother, Plummer, Robert Plummer. Very good book. This is one that a lot of our lessons are going to come from. So I'd grab this one. Grab this one definitely off the rip. Get this off the rip. What else I got? I got these two by Mounts. Got my SpongeBob on there. Basics of Biblical Greek Grammar. And then, as you can see, this one is all marked up. This is Advanced Greek Grammar. This is Greek 2 and 3 and 4. So this is, you see, it's falling apart. It's all Advanced Greek Grammar. Get on back over there. And one more thing I want to show y'all. This monster here. This you'll find this on Logos, but it's nothing like a good hard copy. This is the premier go-to lexicon for Greek grammar, for Greek. This is a Greek English lexicon of the New Testament and early Christian literature by Bauer, Art, Gingrich, Danker, however they named themselves. I got this back in 2017. But again, this is the one that is on BDAG. This is what you would find on Logos and stuff like that. This is a good, every Christian needs to have this. Get this. If you can find it under $100, grab it. There's one, I think that's it. I think that is it. Oh, if you want, grab you a Greek New Testament. It doesn't hurt to have a Greek New Testament. As we'll start to go through them, as you know, you can kind of see. But this is, they have one, usually this one is red. You'll see what people refer to the red Greek Testament, or you'll have the blue. Blue is the Nestle Aland. It's on its 28th edition. And this is the UBS, and it's on the 5th edition. And really the differences is just the bottom part here. But yeah, go. You may grab you. If you guys up here, we have half price books. You can find these for cheap. Fourth, early editions, because the part up here doesn't change. The text really doesn't change. It's the comments and commentaries and stuff. The critical apparatus at the bottom that changes. But probably see a little better if you get you a good Greek New Testament. Mine's starting to fall apart, but those are some tools. All right, so those are some things. You know, we'll take it slow. We'll keep reviewing the alphabet different times, but you're going to see that I'm going to start weaving in Greek a lot more in our lessons. You guys are going to start repetition, hearing these words, knowing these Greek words. You know, you're going to hear people say, you know, you talk about, well, the Greek word here, agape, you know, boom, I know that. That's love. Or you'll hear someone, you know, apostle, apostolos. I know that Greek word. And so small victories matter in Greek. Celebrate your victories. But again, thank you guys for joining. I'm about to fire up my grill, get my grill going. Probably read some more. I need to finish reading through some Greek. But yep, that's everything. I'm going to put my email in the chat if you guys ever want to reach out to me. Oh man, I enjoy if anything, I enjoy teaching the Greek and certain theology, going through books. But my My email is in the chat. You guys can, if you're on Facebook, you can probably find me on there. We're doing these a lot more. And we're going to learn and we're going to grow together. We'll grow together. Because sometimes the best way is to just jump in the language. Just jump in there. I'll have this on my page under like Greek. I'll call it Greek 101. And anytime you can just go back, review. I'll try to include some slides and stuff in there. So, just review the alphabet while you're just sitting. Review the alphabet. You got your 7 vowels. And then you got your consonants. Boom, boom, boom. They pretty much, you've seen them before. They look like your English letters. They sound like your English letters. And so it's good to start there with the small victories. But also, why do you want to learn Greek? That's another thing. Your motivation is important. Learn it to read the Word of God better, to study God's Word better. I think is very, very, very important. And then we'll get into the deeper stuff like, the Greek voice and the tense and the mood and all that. That'll come with time. And we'll learn that. We'll learn all of that. Trying to make sure. Oh, like punctuation, because Greek didn't really have punctuation when the original manuscripts were written. It was all ran together, all capital letters. But the Greek comma looks just like our English comma. A Greek period looks just like our Greek period. The colon looks just like our colon. And the question mark is just a colon and a comma together. So punctuation is the same as in English. Things like that. Easy stuff. Practice going over John 1:1. If you can just get that down in the Greek. John 1:1, where you can read it. You can you know the letter sounds. You put them together. Remember, with syllables, every vowel in diphthong has its own syllable. So with logos, lambda, omicron, gamma, omicron, sigma. Logos. 2 syllables, 2 vowels. If you get those, we'll practice these over time. We'll get them down. All right. Bless you guys. I hope that first lesson was beneficial. Go back and rewatch it. Get some stuff. Rewatch that. I may pop back on later tonight, do some stuff, may do a review. Never know. But I appreciate each of you guys. I really do. It means a lot. You guys are family. We families. So I pray God's blessing on each of you guys. Shabbat Shalom. Enjoy yourself. But most of all, bring glory to God in all that you do. And Rev C, I'll catch you guys later.